You'll never guess the crazy news that just dropped. Cognition AI, a small AI startup, claims they've created the world's first autonomous AI software engineer. Now, I know what you're thinking, another AI assistant. What's the big whoop, Pyman? Oh, but you sweet summer children have no idea what you're in for. See, Devon isn't just another code autocompleter or GitHub Copilot wannabe. This baddie is the world's first fully autonomous AI software engineer. That's right, an AI that can legitimately take on entire dev projects from start to finish, all on its own. We're talking building apps, deploying websites, the whole enchilada without a human having to touch a single line of code. The demos they showed off are straight up insane.
Hey, I'm Scott from Cognition AI, and today I'm really excited to introduce you to Devin, the first AI software engineer. Let me show you an example of Devin in action. I'm going to ask Devin to benchmark the performance of Llama on a couple different API providers. From now on, Devin is in the driver's seat. First, Devin makes a step-by-step plan of how to tackle the problem. After that, it builds the whole project using all the same tools that a human software engineer would use. Devin has its own command line, its own code editor, and even its own browser. In this case, Devin decides to use the browser to pull up API documentation so that it can read up and learn how to plug into each of these APIs. Here, Devin runs into an unexpected error. Devin actually decides to add a debugging print statement. Reruns the code with the debugging print statement, and then uses the error in the logs to figure out how to fix the bug. Finally, Devin decides to build and deploy a website with full styling as the visualization. You can see the website here. All of this is possible today because of the advancements that we've made in both reasoning and long-term planning. It's a really hard problem, and we've only just started, but we're super excited about the progress that we've made so far. In the meantime, if you'd like to try out Devin on your own real-world tasks, send us a request below, and we'd be happy to forward it to Devin.
Hey, I'm Walden, one of the developers here at Cognition AI. We were playing around with whether or not Devin could start a side hustle on Upwork. So here's an actual real job from Upwork where the client wants to set up this computer vision model, which actually looks quite interesting. It seems very difficult to set up. I'm not sure how I would start doing this, but you give the task to Devin and ask Devin to figure it out, and things just kick off. Devin immediately goes ahead, and you can see it sort of starts setting up the repo. It actually runs into some issues here with the versioning. So if you watch how Devin deals with it, Devin's actually updating the code to make these things work. He continues with this, loading and importing packages. You can see that actually downloads images from the internet to run through the model. But you can see here that there are actually some issues that come across. However, Devin knows how to handle these things. Devin kind of pushes through, and if you look closely, Devin's actually doing print line debugging here, where Devin is adding these statements to track where the data flows. And Devin continues to do this until Devin understands how everything's working and actually then updates the code with the fixes after removing print line statements. Devin continues this pattern of fixing code and running it again until it runs the image model across all of these rows across the world. And we can ask for a report from Devin. At which point, Devin sends over some sample images of roads with damage marked out and a nice TXT file explaining Devin's work and the different kinds of outputs of the model. Good job, Devin.
This AI assistant literally completed a paying gig autonomously that 99% of human developers couldn't achieve in a work week. Imagine that capability in the hands of every software team. Companies could crowdsource their entire dev backend to a cloud of AI coding cyborgs working in paradoxically optimized parallel. It'll be like having an army of interns that don't just fetch coffee, but assemble entire apps on demand. But wait, there's more. The Devon devs weren't content to just disrupt software development as we know it. Oh no, they had to go the full, summon the apocalypse route by showing Devon train other AI models from scratch. That's right, an AI birthing more AIs into this world through some kind of technological mitosis.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you an AI training an AI. So here we're going to take the QLoRa repo, which is a fine-tuning method for quantizing large language models. We're going to feed this repo to our agent, Devin, and all we have to ask Devin is to fine-tune a 7B llama model. Devin clones the repo, figures out how to run it using the README, sets up all of the requirements using pip, looks through all the scripts, and is able to start running the training job. There are a few hiccups where Devin runs into some CUDA issues, which is to be expected with open source repos, but it's not a problem. Devin looks at the NVIDIA environment and figures out how to reinstall the packages to make it work. After a few more runs, figure out the correct model names, Devin successfully gets the training run working. Here we see training proceeding smoothly, loss is going down, and after a few steps, looks pretty good. I tell Devin to wait as the training job runs. After about an hour, I come back, ask Devin, hey, how's the training going? Devin helps me look. A few hundred steps are done now, and everything is still proceeding smoothly. Looks great. Thanks, Devin, for helping me set up my training run.
An AI software engineer this capable fundamentally reshapes the entire industry. Think about it, with Devon handling the yeoman's share of coding tasks, developers are free to focus on the bigger picture architecture and systems design. We're talking a world where humans act as visionaries while AI assistants implement the granular details. Kinda takes the hot new AI pair programmer concept and Maxwell overdrives it into AI doing frigging everything. Of course, that begs the question, does an autonomous AI coder like Devon ultimately obsolete human developers altogether? I mean, if it can handily produce full-stack end-to-end apps, handle QA testing, deployment pipelines, all that fun DevOps stuff, where does that leave the coders? Suddenly that developers chant is taking on a much darker tinge. Then again, maybe I'm just being an alarmist Luddite here. For all we know, having AI software engineers could usher in a glorious new age of rapid innovation. Think about it, teams can explore wildly more ambitious projects when they've got an indefatigable robocoder in their corner. Curing cancer? Unlocking clean fusion energy? All that and more is on the table when you've got an army of autonomous AI coders attacking the problem set. Or hell, let's get utopian sci-fi around this bad boy. Maybe Devon-level AI assistants could effectively obsolete the entire coding profession by automating it out of existence. A world where AIs handle all the programming drudgery while us fleshy meatbags pursue true cybernetic transcendence. Okay, maybe I took the future casting a bit too far into Ghost in the Shell fanfic territory there. But can you blame me? This Devon thing has me so stupendously hyped for the world remaking potential of autonomous AI that I can't help but lapse into wide-eyed. Though I suppose there's a few fun counterpoints we should probably address, if only to avoid ending up in a pessimistic Black Mirror parody. Like, does the rise of hypercompetent AI coding assistants put tons of developers out of work? If these robo-devs can pump out full working systems for cheap, outsourcing entire dev teams could become the new normal. The Taylor Swift program apocalypse is upon us. And let's not forget the ominous implications for open-source contributions. One demo literally showed Devon patching up established open-source projects without so much as a courtesy commit credit. I can already envision the Opera devs writing angry missives about ungrateful AI parasites consuming, but never contributing code back to the community. But come on, we're probably getting way too ahead of ourselves fretting about worst-case scenarios. The Devon devs themselves mentioned this is just the beginning. A glimpse at the meager first steps towards true artificial general intelligence. We're likely decades away before AIs can attain self-improving superintelligence and obsolete us fleshy human developers by sheer virtual superiority. Sure, AI software engineers like Devon may lay waste to whole swaths of programming roles today. But I guarantee you there'll be a whole fresh crop of human-centric dev jobs enabling and customizing the work of tomorrow's Devon spawn. The singularity's always arriving, and yet there's still mad work to be done. So instead of panicking about our inevitable obsolescence at the Kinium probes of our AI coder overlords, why don't we just embrace it? AIs may be able to emulate and augment those capacities, but they'll never be able to originate that spark out of thin silicon. So let's vow to embrace tools like Devon as productivity multipliers and force enablers, not replacements or apocalyptic rise of the machine heralds. Because at the end of the day, AIs are just hyper-optimized coding engines. Okay, maybe that was laying the inspirational sloganeering on a bit thick. But hopefully you get my gist here. Devon isn't an omen of our obsolescence. It's a celebration of how insanely far our silly industry has come in just a few short decades. So let's welcome our new autonomous AI software friends with open arms, but also maybe keep a watchful eye out for any ominous signs of rampant self-improvement. You know, just to be safe,